That was And those levels are perfect. If you can hear us,
that's very good.
Yeah, if you can hear us, mate, and yours, and it's coming through on the camera, and they can hear us back up in Brisbane, we are laughing and ready to go.
I can hear you, but it's a bit distorted.
It's okay. I mean, if it's just a little bit, it's probably because the ambience too high.
Just a slight crackle, Ross.
That's all. There's a little crackle. That's better. I've turned it down somewhat. Yeah, that's a little better. So if they can hear us, we're ready to rock and roll. Hello, mate. Sorry?
Do you want to be told?
Yeah, look, I mean, if he wants to, we're not going to force him, but if he wants to come out for a couple of minutes, we'll go on air in about two. Well, we go on air whenever. What are we now? We're on air in 2, if it was working, then you can come and have a chat, look, before, I mean, whenever. Look, I don't want to ruin his night, so he can come whenever he wants. Yeah, okay.
I'll ruin his night, Rob, don't worry about it. Let him know, mate.
Can they hear us?
Just for Rob there,
So what?
yeah, really hot though. Can you turn it down?
Turn it down, yeah, okay, yeah. We'll turn ourselves down. I think that's me, and I think that's Ian. Is that a bit better for them back up there?
Is mine coming through okay?
It should be fine. I mean, I'm just turning it down a little. That's a bit better. We can keep talking as well. I mean, we are where we are at the moment. We are hoping we will be joined by tennis superstar Nick Kyrgios for a quick chat in about 2 minutes, if that works out. So, yeah, so we'll see how we go. If he wants to come out, we've offered the option to his media team. Can you step forward a bit, Ian? You're actually tangling me up here, mate. Or
I'm just so excited to be here with you this evening, Russ.
Maybe, do you want to go behind? If I take that off.
Do you want to go there? Or do you want to go behind?
Well, you will be stepping in.
Good evening and welcome to Riverside Stadium. It's NPL action. It's round 3. Monaro Panthers against O'Connor Knights, top versus bottom in the National Premier League. We've already seen Tigers win 4-0 this afternoon. Ian Worthington will be joining me, Russ Gibbs, in commentary a little bit later. But as you can see, this isn't Ian Worthington. Nick Kyrgios, tennis superstar, Canberra legend as well. Thanks for joining us just before kickoff. You've come down here to the Supporters Club. Yeah. Tell us a little bit why you're here.
Well, I mean, the park kind of speaks for itself. Strider Park, my beer. We've been, obviously I'm a Canberra local as well, so just getting behind the sport in general is, you know, what I do. I love anything kind of local, but, you know, the support they've shown with me as well, you know, I just want to get here and support sport in general, but yeah, just here.
Yes, Strider Park, what they're now calling Riverside Stadium, and it's a fantastic sponsorship for the team here. We've all tried the product as well, and it's very good.
How do you like it?
Yeah, very good, mate. We enjoyed it before down this little area they've got down here as well. Yeah. You've got a Monaro Panthers scarf on now. Does that mean you're a fully fledged Panthers fan?
Well, I guess so. I kind of was, you know, draped in the clothes as soon as I entered the supporters club. But fair enough. You know, now I'm going to actually, you know, follow it a lot more, and you know, I'm excited.
Absolutely. What's up for you right now? You a lot of things going on yourself personally in the tennis space?
Yeah, got 3 more weeks in Canberra, just getting the body right, and then heading to the French Open in Paris in 3 weeks, and then I'm on the road for pretty much 4 months after that. Tennis it's a brutal sport in that sense. You know, we go all through Europe, and then obviously Wimbledon. You know, where I've had so many good memories, but I'm keen to get back over there and yeah, just, you know, the little kid from Canberra, you know, travelling the world and then doing some pretty crazy things.
And that's the amazing thing about it. There's a lot of little kids out here today we've seen around, and you have been a living proof that, you know, someone from our region can go on and do it. How does a kid from Canberra get to a position like yourself?
I mean, for me, it just changed overnight. You know, I was just doing the right things. I was training. You know, my parents, I would not be in this position without my parents. They really put all the eggs in the basket and supported me fully. And I was just going to school in Darram Island, and I was just a local Canberran, and all of a sudden I was travelling the world, you know, on the global stage, and I literally tell all the kids, you know, when they ask me, you know, how did it happen, I was like, just keep, you know, putting your head down, doing the work, and it really can just, your life can just change, and that's been probably the most powerful thing about my career too, is, you know, the Canberra locals, but anyone in Australia can really do it if you put your mind to it, and, you know, there was probably more chance of someone winning the lottery than doing what I've done, and I'm super grateful for it, and as I said, coming down here and supporting, you know, in Canberra, this is 20 minutes from my house, so, you know, I'm going to be here a lot more often, and obviously, you know, the Panthers are my team now.
Absolutely, I'm sure they are. We're watching a team sport tonight, individual sport for you, but it doesn't happen on your own. You've got a big team around you. You talked about your parents and that, but there's a real support network for you. Yeah,
I mean, I played basketball growing up, so, you know, I love team sports. Tennis is a brutal sport mentally, you know, being out possibly on the court for 4 or 5 hours on your own, you definitely start, you know, having some dark thoughts. But no, I'd be nothing without my team and my people around me. You know, I've got a great physio, great, you know, manager's my best friend, you know, great friend group, and my parents. So yeah, I mean, I lean on those people all the time. You can't do it on your own, and I do miss the team dynamic. You know, seeing the boys all up together, camaraderie. You win together, you lose together. I do miss that a lot. But as I said, you know, I've met some incredible people along the way to do some amazing things, and we have a good family relationship. I do pride myself with how seriously I take my relationships, and I do miss that team environment.
We're talking about your sport itself. I've got to ask you though, did you play football growing up and soccer? Did you ever have a kick of the round ball?
Yeah, my dad's Greek. He's told me about 700 times the Greeks did win the Euros one time.
2004,
2004, 2006. But I did play a bit of outdoor soccer when I was a young kid. I mean, I was a bit overweight as a kid, so I played keeper. I was always good with my hands.
You've got the size for it.
Yeah, I actually I was a good keeper. You know, I'm very good with my hands, and I didn't mind throwing myself around. So yeah, I did play keeper. I like yelling at people as well. So I guess that's translated to me on the court with the umpires and stuff. But yeah, I did play a bit of soccer every now and then.
Everyone loves a chat with a referee every now and again. So when your tennis career finishes in a way distant future, maybe a job as a goalkeeper in the local Premier League.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I think the Panthers are doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah, top of the table.
Yeah, well, I mean,
banging in the goals.
I don't think they need any. I mean, I'll happily, cut oranges and then bring in Strider after the game if they keep winning. But I don't know. I think I'm not going to play much sport after I'm done.
Well, you're going to have plenty of time off. Hopefully, you'll deserve it. Nick Kyrgios, thank you very much for joining us. Massively happy for you to come out here and promote your product and Strider Park here as well. Great product as well. Good luck at the French Open. I'm sure you'll do really well. Canberra legend. We all love you as well. No matter what everybody else says in the media, we know it's all about Nick Kyrgios. Thanks very much for joining us. We're going to get Ian Wood back in. Enjoy the game. Before you go, who's going to win? What's the score going to be?
Oh, I mean, I'll go like maybe a little 2-0 victory, and then we just smash the Striders after.
You've heard it here first. 2-0 to the Panthers. Nick Kyrgios, thank you very much.
Easy, no worries.
Him tonight. So let's have a look at these two lineups while Ian Worthington steps in to join us. We're going to start with the Monaro Panthers, a 3-5-2 for them. Nick Kyrgios in goal. Max Malin, Adam Di Franceschi and Marco Gara across the back. Lance Storey will be the holding midfielders. Robert Sachenko, Christian Crescus, Stephen domination, Danny Batch in front. Two and plenty of action there. In the front of the action, the subs Gary Meritage, the second side, Dylan D. Jones, Jack Elwood, and Kylan rather in his first game, Harrison Palic. The referee making his debut in the NPL. Individual with Harrison Cracknell, Thomas Gatley, and Frank Wallace. That's your cast list. Ian Worthington, Stevie Pump to on for the start of the conversation. But not often you get to chat with the two superstars. So Colonites need a kick start. They need something. They need something to get themselves onto the scoreboard. No points. Well, here we go. Versus Knights. What is a game? Second goal to our right.
I can hear. No audio on broadcast.
Okay, apparently he heard us when he was facing us when being Nick was doing the turn to the field in Oxford. So that might be the connection. First touch for Ryan Stewart. As I mentioned, the Knights with no points. Only one goal to their name so far this season. towards the far post. Going to come up for John again. And this is going to miss. Barrage. Can anyone hear us in the studio? Hopefully they can. First touch of note. Christian Nil. For Kenny Manda. So Panthers in 2 from 2 at the top of the table. Carry on with the game, mate, and then tell me what you think might be worth doing, and I'll do it.
Through the headphones.
And we'll try that, see if that's any better at home. Let us know if you can hear us, and we will go from there. We'll step back in here and we'll see how we go. If anyone's listening at home, let us know if you can hear us. We'll try to fix it, and we'll see what happens. Now we've lost audio.
Lost audio completely.
We're just waiting to see if I get any confirmation back that people can hear us and we can get going. Back with ambient mainly, but I guess people can hear us a little.
Yeah, apparently they can hear you like in the background, but not sure certainly clear enough as yet.
Through the ambient mic, I think it is. Ian, that's the key. I'm not sure how we fix this. No good, mate. Sorry? Shift that table, mate. Let's unplug this.
That's gone, that's out.
Yeah, we'll plug him back in and we can talk into that, mate, because people can hear us.
Okay, well, hang on. I've got a better mic than that. There's a mic. Yeah. Maybe try that. Okay, maybe try that.
Plug that into...
Just speak to that.
It's not plugged in.
Well, how am I now hearing?
I don't know.
turn for Kenny Mando, and he found Michael John was looking for it in the penalty area. Step a bit over here in, we're closer to the ambient anyway. Might be a bit better for everybody. Marco Gaia. Dominici concerned. Barac makes that run to the left-hand side. He's going to hit it. It should be easy for Christian Nell. He's working perfectly. Chase is on here. When Ahmed Shaibu got there. Apparently people can hear us now, Ian, so that's good. Got the thumbs up. Manda. Piccolo in with the challenge. So we're going off Robert Farrell. Thanks, Robert. You said you can hear us, so we're going off you, mate.
He's usually here. Is he not just downstairs by the bar?
But now David Pallyward says he can't hear you on commentary, so I don't know. Danny Barac. Back for Dominici. Might try to build one towards our far post, Nil, which he did away. Swinging into the penalty area. Bodies in green and black. Nodded away. Chance for a corner to break for Kenny Mando on that left side. Still on the challenge by Melech Bears is the referee. Piccolo. Into the area doesn't quite work out. Monaro. Hopefully now that's better. Hopefully people can hear us a bit more. Start singing a song, people hear you then. Manda finds Lukman Ahmed Shaibu to touch it back with Kobe Yari. Had a pop blocked, Kami Sujuna. Dahl. Loose one from him, and the chance for Stephen Dominici.
Chandler's a great breaking play. I'll probably plug him back in the next set. Yeah. Because I think that was coming through the distorted. So maybe
Just go back to that.
So, dug into where it says cat and yeah. There's a sticker, it says something like pound line. Yeah, try the headphones.
Okay, we're back on the headphones in. We're giving these a go. Check them on. Let's have a go with that. It might be working a bit better. It might be static. Who knows? It seems to be a guessing game at the moment. Poor old Ross, he's trying to do the fix the audio. He's trying to fix everything.
Certainly, yeah. I can hear you and you can hear me through the earphones, but what's going on?
We seem to be trying our best. There's a goal kick at the moment, and you're not missing anything. Ross is trying to do the camera work and fix our audio problems at the same time. Man of many talents on his. It's the first time we've done NPL commentary with him, so welcome, mate. Mate, loving life at the moment. Long ball forwards, sent by Christian Nell. It's massive. Falls out here for Crescus. Melanie Ross
is working on this. Our team in Brisbane are all over it as well. They'll figure it out for us. Pushing Juno with the throw. Prescus with the volley. Dumped away by Lavella. One back by Melick. Amanda. In the start of the season for Apollo Knights has been tricky, hasn't it? They haven't quite found their rhythm at the moment. Lots of new players in the squad. Maybe it's something to do with that.
Something to do with that. It's also something to do with a change in personnel at the top. It takes time to bring the team together. That's what pre-season's for, and before the season starts, then unfortunately things change a bit. It's like a restart for them, and that takes time.
It's hard to put into words really what their struggles have been at the start of the season. Knocked out of the cup after having led 2-0 at half-time against the Gunners and looking very solid. And then all of a sudden it fell apart. Since then it's not got much better. 4-1 lead defeat to Croatia, a 4-0 loss to Tigers. But they started brightly here. Yari looking to put it through. I mean, they're too good a side, on paper at least, then, for it to last long this slump.
Well, they are. You would expect them to hit form fairly soon. So longer than perhaps was expected.
Kichenko. It will be Robert Kichenko went down under the challenge. They were looking for a penalty. On debut, as I mentioned at the start, whether or not you heard that or not, but we'll mention it again. He's on debut, Harrison Cracknell. Disappointingly, people might not hear you, but they heard me. So that's okay.
Well, I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's curious, and then someone is much more important to get on the match.
But I was already on. Because you're wearing your gilet. Corner kick, Ryan Stewart will take. He's down there talking to the kids. Ryan Stewart with the corner kick into the penalty area. Stretching for it was Prescus. It's loose in the box. And that's an acrobatic attempt by Domination, I think it might have been at the end. Wasn't on target, but at least it was half a chance. One by Junna. Out for Michael John. We're coming together in the corner.
Juna's rolling around as though he's been stamped on.
The officials on top of it. And apparently we're good. All sorted now, I'm told.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Well, let's go. We're getting massive messages.
Yeah, you're on. Don't bother everybody. If you can hear us, then that's great.
Well, if you can, let me know, because we will know. Even my boss sent me a message saying, turn the microphone on. I'm like, I tried.
Yeah, let Russell. Believe it or not, there's people here who are actually trying to do the best to get it on. But thank you for everybody's feedback on what to do when the mic doesn't work.
There we go. That's perfect, says Robert Farrell. We're on, mate. Welcome.
Excellent.
Oh, look at that.
Even Sarah Hundy says we're back, so it must be right. She's never wrong.
Well done, Ross and the team in Brisbane. They fixed it in the end. We had full faith that they could. Anyway, you've missed, 18 minutes of football. Not a lot has happened in terms of commentary-wise. You've been watching the Vision. We were just chatting about Nick Kyrgios. Did we mention that?
No. Has he been here?
Yes. He's down there.
Still here.
Adam Di Franceschi. Looking good on it all. It's all good.
and we're working. I love the fact that everybody was tuning in, listening to us, and telling us that they could hear us, because if they don't tell us, we're not going to know.
No, they're really good. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Anyway, we're back. They must really miss us, mustn't they?
Honestly.
Isn't that lovely?
It's a Saturday night. What else would you rather be doing but listening to me and you talk about football? Balach in behind. Chance for him to swing this into the air. Really good ball. Piccolo went on to the end of it. They felt there was a shove on him. He wasn't going to get there anyway, I don't think.
Well, there was a definite shove on him because he got shoved into the post. But who are we to talk about football matters? I thought we were talking about Nick Kyrgios. And, in case nobody realised
Nick Kyrgios is now the biggest fan of Monaro Panthers. Knights have conceded 13 goals in their last 3 matches and 24 in their last 7 competitive games. That's not the form of a side that won the cup last year. Michael John might be in here though for O'Connor. He's looked lively so far. Christian Junner's got a chance to lift it towards that far post. So Kenny Manda was coming in, but to no avail in the end. And Max Melik can complete the clearance. If you missed it earlier today, 4-0 was the win for Tigers. William Akio with a hat-trick, which is great news for him, off and running in terms of goals. Full-time score in the Capital Premier League. ANU 2, Brindabella Blues 3. Brindabella Blues claiming the points in that one. Big 3 points for them today. 1 for Kreskus to chase. He's delivered it into the area again. Good looking ball. Connor Bill won it. Canberra Juventus 3, Wagga City Wanderers 1, I'm told. Canberra Olympic 2, Balcony United 2 in that big match. And Sergio Linda scored twice again as White Eagles beat West Canberra Wanderers by 4-0 in the other CPL matches. That's all your CPL games up today. Corner kick. Kreskus towards the far post, and coming in was Di Franceschi. And he'll get another corner. He's good at those late runs, Adam Di Franceschi.
He's got a couple like that over the last couple of years, hasn't he? And like you say, a late run, he charges at it, tries to get some contact on the ball, and unfortunate with that one.
In case you missed it on Friday, Women's National Premier League, Gungahlin United 8, Majura FC 0. Big win for the Gunners. More women's football for you tomorrow. Balcony United versus Canberra. Croatia, our feature match at Kaylin enclosed. That should be a corker.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. I think we're on that one together as well, aren't we? So some decent players on show there.
Corner kick from the other side. Robert Tkachenko to take it. Plenty of movement from the Panthers. They've gone short to Piccolo. Change of angle. And that didn't quite work out. Ryan Straub. Luca McCaw. Turning midfield, and he's ridden that challenge nicely, Luca McCaw. Barach spins away from Dahl. Kreskus had time to deliver. Picked out Straub instead. Kreskus. Blocked by Lavella. Half-hearted shots of handball from the Panthers fans. McCaw. Di Franceschi stayed up there.
Good spell from Monaro, isn't it? Just keeping
about
the
to say
ball
that.
well. Oh, were you?
Yeah, it was. I was going to say good spell, exact words.
I've been stood next to you for too long.
I said that to Frank earlier on.
Yeah. Was he having a good spell?
Absolutely. Kreskus cutting inside and driving it low. And Nell needs to gather at the second attempt. Goalkeeper. Great crowd again here tonight in front of us. I was told that the canteen manager was close to quitting because he's so busy. They're selling so much food below us.
Why would you quit when you're doing well? Surely that's a good thing. Too busy.
Too busy, mate. They need more staff. It's good to see a canteen out at Tigers this afternoon as well. South Jerrabomberra. What a venue that is.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Full kitchen and dining area going, and wasn't there down there? And had a Reuben. Quite nice.
It was. Wasn't a nice afternoon for Gungahlin United, though, in either first or reserves. Under 23s getting beaten by 5-0 by the Tigers. Did watch a really good under-18s game this morning, though. Straub's efforts. Gunners winning that one by 3-1, but high quality.
A lot of decent players on show there. Probably the top game of the season from what I've seen from a Tigers 18s perspective. really good showing from them, but geez, Gungahlin have got some decent young players, haven't they?
Well, considering that their first grade team now hasn't scored a goal in close to 400 minutes, I'm wondering whether some of the youth players in the reserves, the 23s and the 18s, might be getting a knock on the door at some stage. I know it might be soon for some of those 18s, but you never know. It's not too soon. There's a gentleman stood not too far from we are, Mr. Andy Burnell, who made his debut at a very young age. If you're young enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Isn't that what they say?
It's just full of Canberra's finest sporting people, isn't it, tonight? So, yeah, got Andy Burnell to the right of us here, and certainly a player who had a fantastic football career both here and I remember him from his spell in England with Reading.
There's a chance on the overlap into the middle, and it's going to come for Yari. Good first touch control. Thought about hitting it, perhaps should have hitting it. It was on for the volley. He's got the technique, Obi Yari. International footballer, I believe, with Papua New Guinea. I believe it's Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
Double check that at half time, but I know he's played internationally.
Yeah.
Wanted to strike it, didn't he, and then thought better of it. He's got his team a set piece anyway.
You can't second guess yourself in those moments. You've got to back yourself and get onto the ball as it travels across.
Dominici and Juno making acquaintances. Not for the faint-hearted, those two. And then a little bit of afters from Stephen Dominici on Christian Juno. A little bit silly. Harrison Cracknell on NPL debut, having to lay down the law. He's had enough.
That's two experienced players going at it a bit. And Harrison Cracknell's got to stand up to this as a young referee. Dominici knows what he's doing there, and actually, so does Juno.
I think that's good refereeing from Harrison Cracknell. Send no more to Stephen Dominici.
But no more running at him and charging him, knocking him over.
That'll be the message that he's sending across. Panthers have been goal crazy so far in 2025. 18 goals in their first 3 matches of the season. 8 different players have scored goals in the first 3 games. Giuseppe Tyne has 4 in his first 2 competitive matches for the club. Ben Basser-Silk, consecutive goals off the bench. Not involved tonight, Ben Basser-Silk. Zach McLaren also not involved. That's a lovely touch for Yari. Di Franceschi's going to clear it, but only as far as Fakedi Manda. Loves these positions, the winger. Can dart into the area.
Very positive run. I'm just looking to see if he can deliver the ball a little bit earlier, though.
Good climb at the back from James Driscoll. Ahmed Shaibu couldn't quite get forwards. Dart. There's Connor Bill with a turn, my apologies. Balach into the area. Lavella will get rid of this. Nearly played half an hour, still waiting for the first goal of the evening. Who do you think's the happier of the 2 managers so far, coaches so far in?
Look, I'm not suggesting either of them will be happy. Both created a couple of half chances. O'Connor keeping the ball better than maybe what was expected by the viewers watching with the start they've had this season, but so far they've had the better of the chances than just the ball at the far post just a couple of minutes ago.
Queanbeyan City, who started the NPL season with 2 draws, well, they're having a rude awakening tonight. A couple of minutes before half-time at Deakin Stadium, it's Canberra, Croatia 4, Queanbeyan City 0.
Their side have also had a great season, or great start to the season, Canberra, Croatia.
But they've now scored 14 goals in 3 league games against this team here, who scored, and if you count the 4 in their cup, they've scored 18. Same as the Panthers, and those 2 meet on Tuesday in that cup encounter.
Yeah, it's got the makings of a cracker, hasn't it, that one on Tuesday evening. Obviously only one can go through.
Michael John. Edging towards 150 NPL games, Michael John. This is his 149th appearance in the top flight in the ACT. Good longevity by Michael John. Spells at ANU, Gungahlin United, Canberra Olympic, Tuggeranong United. James Driscoll. Manda wins a free kick. Still waiting for either goalkeeper to be truly tested. Connor Bill over this free kick. No real urgency. He's invited Driscoll into the corner. That's asking an awful lot. It's not the best free kick, that, Ian.
I just don't know why you deliver a ball straight ball into the corner, really. You know, they had two bodies in the box. Could they get another one in the box? And
they didn't. Prior to losing to the Tigers last week, 4-0, O'Connor has scored at least one goal in each of their last 18 competitive matches. Their season, after winning the Charity Shield, has fallen off the rails somewhat. 13 conceded in 3. Bottom of the table, -7 goal difference heading into tonight. And only the one goal, that consolation really from Lukman Ahmed Shaibu, ultimately. O'Connor enclosed in the derby. Junna, bit of height on that. Challenge from Melik. Driscoll's won it back and left it for Manda. Outside of the boot, looking for Ahmed Shaibu, almost got there. Stud away, Lukman Ahmed Shaibu.
What a delivery that was. Outside of the boot, bent across away from the goalkeeper. Manda at his best, that.
Michael Adams, Christian Junna. Thankfully, the lightning that was flashing in the background seems to have subsided. Passed us on by. It was probably so far away, but you can see quite a lot from up where here on the Riverside.
It's a good vantage point, isn't it? Nice little roof over our head.
I mean, it's made of metal. We'd probably been in trouble.
And we've got a lot of electric around our head and next to us, so yeah. We're right in line for a lightning strike, but other than that, we're good.
I'll be fine. Kachenko.
That's famous last words, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Fine.
Switch to this near side for Michael John. James Lavella. Christian Junna. Adams has dropped deep. Charged down by Straw. Adams recovers. If you're wondering where Nico Kresic is tonight, well, he's got an injury, ankle injury. And Masotso Ahegi is overseas. So neither involved in the Knights squad this evening. Manda. Junna. Last season, these two sides met in round 2. Knights won by 2-1. Monaro took the points in round 9. And again, the Knights took it in round 16. But most importantly, of course, O'Connor won the cup final, beating Monaro by 4-2. That got them into that round of 32. They're not going to do it this year. Bundled out of the first stage by Gungahlin United, who will face Tigers in the quarter-final to play the winners of Queen Bean or Brindabella Blues in the semi-final. Real chance for one of those two sides to make a cup name for themselves. Manda, Junna, McDowell, Driscoll, and Di Franceschi away. I wonder how much the 2 defeats in a row in the 2 heavy defeats to Croatian Tigers came off the back of. I'll come back to this point in a minute. It's knocked in all. That's a sore one for Adam Di Franceschi, and Lukman Ahmed Shaibu is going to see yellow for his challenge on the challenge on Di Franceschi. Second yellow card of the season for the American striker. Someone giving instructions on this near side.
I'm a little bit confused by by that. I don't know whether it's yellow vested official who's, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest.
I was going to say, do you think that the two heavy defeats that they suffered was a hangover from that cup defeat? They built this squad to go deep into that competition and maybe repeat what they did last year, at least to get to the round of 32, and to be not beaten at the first stage. Well, maybe this has had a knock-on effect.
Yeah, well, I can only reiterate what I said when I was at O'Connor with you a couple of weeks ago in the 4-1 defeat that they had then. That they just didn't look organised for the quality in the individuals that they have. And it's just going to take a little bit longer for them to get it together with the change in personnel that they had at the top, with the management and technical director who did such an amazing job for the club over the spell that they were involved. And the change at the top does take time to go through to the players on the pitch.
And it started all right here, giving as good as they've got in the first 35 minutes. Christian Junot, Lavella, Michael Adams, and Connor Bill. It's neat and tidy, but they're going nowhere at the moment. Driscoll looking to change that with the impetus of a forward burst. And brought to a halt illegally. Good to see plenty of kids in the claw in front of us.
Well,
the supporters club,
claw, isn't it? Yeah. Good initiative. That great idea.
Into the penalty area, too easy for Heath Illich. I think I mentioned it on the first game I was here. In $50 a season, and you get entry to every game as a player, as a youngster. You get a hoodie with the claw supporters club on the back, and you get hot dog and chips at every single match you go to.
I thought you were talking about Heath Illich then.
Not Heath Illich, that's a claw, mate. He doesn't get that. That's not his way. That's not his contract.
Oh,
I mean, he might be.
Semi-pro level in England's a Mars bar and a can of Coke. I think he's getting a hot dog and a hoodie.
Well, that's the claw in front of us. They're loving life with their special treatment every week. A lot of space in this near side for Manda if they can find him. But great initiative from Monaro Panthers, doing an awful lot right off the field. And not a lot wrong on it this season. Manda. Shout out to Anthony Zanetti and the Supporters Club again for looking after us prior to the game. Straub comes across, concedes the throw.
Always very welcoming, isn't he? You go in there, nice handshake, and make sure that you're happy with everything. Really good vibe in there again this evening.
Adams trying to squeeze it through, and it might come here for Fakedi Manda on the turn. Snapshot from the winger. Closest that O'Connor have come. Once again, Michael Adams at the heart of everything, Ian Worthington.
As he often is, and was all last season as well. One of the best players in the competition.
Still waiting for a real attempt on target. Lavella. John's touch, and then looking for a free kick, none given. Adams went down. Kreskus looking for Barac. Hasn't quite been able to link up with Dominici just yet. You wouldn't imagine it would be too long before they do. 95 goals for Barac, 180 for Stephen Dominici. Got phenomenal records.
Yeah, fairly formidable.
Piccolo. He's not got a bad strike rate as well, Michael Piccolo, from midfield. Scored a scorcher here in that win over the Tigers. That's great feat from Fakedi Manda away from Marco Gaia. Ryan Straub is back there again. Having a good game, the defensive midfielder.
Bit of a fan's favourite as well, isn't he? Down below us in the claw.
It's a great initiative because a little bar area behind there, isn't it? You can drop the kids in the claw and still keep an eye on them. whilst you enjoy the canteen. Driscoll. Pacey fullback, it's a wonderful challenge. Robert Kachenko getting back there to get involved. And they've given it away. And Manda's got a chance to run. And for Kenny Manda to tee it up, and somehow it's speared wide. It was Lukman Ahmed Shaibu, and he got the last touch, and it should be 1-0 Knights.
I was just waiting for the net to burst then. Thought Lukman's got in front of his player and just pass it in an empty goal, really, but somehow it's gone wide of the post.
A huge let-off for Monaro Panthers. And Ahmed Shaibu must be wondering how he has not scored. Most of the travelling Knights supporters thinking the same. But how about the burst from Fakedi Manda? Balac Kreskas is quick. Juna's no slouch either. Couldn't quite find Dominici with his pass.
Manda's switching both sides, isn't he? And
well, on the right and on the left, Michael John as well.
Yeah, John is out on the left at the moment.
3 at the back again for the Panthers. Free kick foul by Kobe Yari. When you play 3 at the back against 3 up top, and 2 of those are very wide players. There's another card here, Ian.
Not too sure.
Time wasting, I think. Second yellow card of the campaign for him as well. What's your thoughts on that? 3 at the back against 3 players, and with the 2 wide players hugging the touchline, it causes issues, doesn't it? It stretches that defence.
It should stretch you, but then as they go out, one of your 6s can just set into that gap, and well, it depends how what's coming through midfield as well. You know, they're trying to create overloads, and that means they've only got 3 at the back. They've obviously got more players higher up the pitch, and that's how they want to play the game. Overload in different areas.
Barrett spins and has a run. Dominici in the middle. Kreskas coming in on the far post. He's going to retrieve it. Straub. Back as far as Marco Gaia. It's a lovely angle ball onto that. Balac is there. Great save. Luther Piccolo. 1-0 Panthers. The ball was a cracker. The header was decent. And Michael Piccolo was in the right place at the right time. And Monaro Panthers are in front.
Well, all about the delivery, wasn't it? The delivery was superb. It was whipped in. Christian Nell was caught in between. Good first header, but Piccolo, what a response to come and score the rebound.
Was not going to miss from that range. It was a good save from Christian Nell. It was a wonderful ball in, and the header from Balac was class. But when Nell needed his defenders to help him out, Piccolo reacted fastest. His second goal of the season. And the league leaders find themselves in front a couple of minutes before the half-time break. And a coach killer for Nick Tyther and company.
It's funny how often there's a big chance missed at one end, the team go up the other end, and within a minute or two get the goal to get them in front, and that's what's just happened here.
Dominici goes down, no free kick given. And that's it, isn't it? Ahmed Shaibu should have scored. Michael Piccolo did. And that's why one team's at the top and one's at the bottom. Manda, Luca McCall won the ball. Kreskas steps inside. They've got their gander up. Have Monaro Panthers. They're seeking a second. Kreskas asked too much of Stephen Dominici.
Positive run though from Christian Kreskas. Started the game well in this wide area. Can cut in, can get round the outside, and yeah, he's a decent player.
They have the lead. You wouldn't say it's against the runner play, but it wasn't with the runner play, if that makes sense. Been a bit even, isn't it?
It's been an even game, so no, it wasn't against the runner play by any means. I think it's because it's come so soon after a big chance for O'Connor Knights that would put them 1-0 in front, and they've been punished at the other end.
For Kenny Manders, still getting treatment to our right here. Well, he's getting treatment now. It took a while to get on. That was off the challenge from Luca McCaw when he slid in. Referee adjudged he won the football.
I'd have to watch that again, to be honest, because my initial thought was that it was a foul, and I'm just seeing what's going on over the far side.
Bit of chat.
Talking to the linesman over the far side. It's a conversation between the linesman and the coach by the looks of it. Maybe it is about that challenge on Manda.
I think there might have been.
Soon find out if he calls the referee over whether there's something more untoward than we've actually seen.
We'll wait and see what's the outcome. For Kenny Mandel limping off. Doesn't look in the best way, does he, for Kenny Mandel? He's not exactly hobbling off the pitch in a good manner, and he's going to get some treatment over there as well. They'll play with 10 for the time being. O'Connor.
He was going at some speed, wasn't he, as well? Though he was, you know, fully on it. And
well, he's only got 2 gears, walking at an express pace.
And he was doing the latter when the challenge came in.
Marco Gaia. Dominici. Straub. Balak round the corner. Michael Adams into stoppage time at the end of the first half. 1 goal the difference. Michael Piccolo with it. An enjoyable 45 minutes here. We chatted to Nick Kyrgios at the start, and then we had an audio issues which was fixed. And now here we are enjoying our football match. And the Panthers enjoying it more than most.
As has happened on more than one occasion this season. Going at the break, leading.
Well, they might be going in the break leading.
There
might be more. Dominici looking to bend it in. Good save again by Nell. It's loose in front for Straub, and he can't turn it home like Piccolo. And the effort from a long way out from Luca McCaw is wide, and that'll bring us to the half-time break in Worthington. The Panthers, top of the table. Well, they were heading to this one at the moment. As it stands, ladder, they are second on goal difference because Croatia is still leading by 4-0 against Queanbeyan City. But I think they'll be pleased the Panthers are in at half-time with a lead.
Oh, they're going in 1-0 up, and that's the most important thing at this stage of the season. Could have just been 2 if it would have fallen right just before the break. And yeah, in a game that's fairly even, one team's taken the chances while the other hasn't.
And that one chance that fell to the foot of Marco Piccolo was dispatched clinically, and that's the difference at the half-time break here at Strider Park. It's the Panthers who lead. It's Monaro Panthers 1, O'Connor Knights 0. Welcome back to Strider Park, where we're waiting for the start of the second half. Monaro Panthers lead O'Connor Knights by 1-0. Ian Worthington has vacated his headset for just a moment or two. My name's Russ Gibbs, and joining me, former soccer Andy Burnell. Andy, thanks for coming on, mate, and having a quick chat with us. What have you made of the first half?
Oh, look, I think it was pretty close. In the end, Monaro got a slightly deserved goal, but it's an improved performance from O'Connor Knights after recent kind of outings. It's a close match, this one. I think Monaro could probably score another goal or two by the end of the game. But, certainly O'Connor Knights aren't making it easy tonight.
You've been keeping busy, mate. You've got a third book on the way under construction. What is that at to?
Yeah, that's I've kind of done my part. I'm working with Dr. Craig Duncan, who was ex-Socceroos, head of sports science, and he's been with Sydney FC and very world renowned. He's working with the Malaysian National Football Association now, so that's going to be one that's a little bit based on my last season at the Mariners, but with a heavy perspective on mental health, and I want to kind of leave a legacy of young people, young students, young footballers can read and go to, and help them navigate through this world that we call the beautiful game.
Before we let you go, very quickly, you've got a couple of little young players under your wing right now. One of them had a trial, Stephen Elan, over at Auckland last week, and we're hoping to see more of him.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's at Tuggeranong at the moment. He's finishing his last year at school here, and the more exposure that I can get him and we can put him into, whether it's A-League or overseas, get him to continue doing all the right things here, then sometimes it's just a matter of time with these young boys.
Well, we'll see him on tomorrow against Ugali away. We'll see him on Wednesday night in the Cup against Ugali at Canberra. I'll speak to you then as well, Andy. Thanks for joining us, albeit very briefly as well, and we'll have a lengthier chat in the week.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having us, guys.
Ian Worthington back with us. No changes, Ian, I can't see at half-time. Nice for Andy to have a chat as well. Wealth of experience, Andy Burnell.
So you've done me in the first half and the second half. Now you've had Nick Kyrgios in the first half. I've been Andy Burnell start the second.
Tennis superstar.
Sort of about being a bit part.
Socceroo international. First player to play in La Liga, first Australian.
And me.
And now you. Hard acts to follow. It's like one of those celebrity shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you.
When you have Richie Brannigan on in July, I'm sure we can discuss the game his dad saved a famous penalty.
He did indeed.
And Andy Burnell playing in that game.
He played in that match in the playoff final.
Don't usually mention it in front of Andy Burnell.
Well, we might get Andy Burnell and Richie Brannigan on at the same time. That'll be interesting.
That would be good. I'd be playing third fiddle rather than second. But cheers, mate.
Dominici's ball forward. Kichenko finds Barac. The one goal in the first half scored by Piccolo. Here's Kichenko. Good block by James Driscoll. For Kenny Mander, thankfully for the O'Connor Knights perspective is out there again. There were 18 goals in the 4 matches played between these teams last season. Panthers got 8, Knights got 10 of them. Panthers have got the all-important one at the moment, looking for 2. Set piece at the start of the second half, in towards Di Franceschi, and one at the near post by Barac, who scored a header already at that end this season. Di Franceschi's got a chance to lift this into the penalty area. Nodded away by Adams. Manda sends it forward. Marco go out. How do you feel following Nick Kyrgios and Andy Burnell in commentary, mate?
Absolutely fine, mate.
You're great. I mean, neither of them have coached or coached at Bolton Wanderers or played for Stockport County. Stephen Dominici.
Do you know that Nick Kyrgios has played next door to where I once played in New York? That's probably the closest I'm going to get.
Flushing Meadows?
Yeah, is that near the New York, New Jersey Stadium as it was?
Well, I'm assuming that's where they play the tennis. Good little 1-2. Here's Kichenko, shooting opportunity. Charged down by Lavella. Another corner for Panthers. Started the second half very well. Yeah, you played against Bayern Munich. That's your claim to fame.
Yeah. Not at tennis.
I mean, I don't think Bayern Munich. Oliver Kahn played tennis?
Basketball?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not. Interesting setup on this corner kick routine. Only Stephen Dominici in the 6-yard box. Everybody else making the late run. Is the delivery any good from this near side? Swung in by Kachenko. Now the break might be on here. They love a break. Do the Knights. Adams. Ahmed Shaibu. John. Couldn't find Adams. Di Franceschi. That's a good header clear. Yari battling. McCaw. Gaia. Kreskas in field, not very accurately. James Driscoll. Piccolo. Balach. Kreskas. Piccolo's continued his run. Knights have looked better defensively tonight, Ian. They've looked less porous than they had in the first few games.
They look more organised, they look a little bit more compact. They're on the front foot a bit more, just as Michael Adams steps in there. So it's more encouraging, isn't it, with the defensive structure. And we know how decent their forward end can be when they get going. Lookman, like any striker, is probably due a goal and wants a goal. So when he gets firing, they'll probably be all right.
Canberra Croatia have got another. It's 5 now at Deakin Stadium against the team from over the road here. Queanbeyan City having a wake-up call in the Premier League against Canberra Croatia. Croatia 5, Queanbeyan City 0. 20 minutes to play.
Ruthless, aren't they, the start of this season as well?
Yeah, they have been in some form. 15 goals in the Premier League, 4 in the Cup as well. 19 goals in 4 games. Here's a chance for Piccolo. Straub won it. Adams has won it back.
Ryan Straub starting the second half as he did the first, just picking up all those little bits and pieces in midfield, breaking it down, moving it on. Does it superbly well.
Adam Di Franceschi. Marco Gaia. Shout out for Canberra United, off on the roads tomorrow. Up to Industry Group Stadium to play Central Coast Mariners in the elimination final. A win there, and it will be a home semi-final in the first leg next week. Should Canberra United win tomorrow, I should say when Canberra United win tomorrow against the Mariners, we will have all the ticket information for you that you need to know on the Canberra United website, canberraunited.com.au. There will be social media posts as well across the Canberra United pages, and probably the Canberra Football official ones as well, so that you know how you can get behind Canberra United in a semi-final should they get up tomorrow against the Mariners. And it's final football, so who knows. There's also a bus going up. I don't know if it's too late to buy a ticket for the bus tomorrow that departs from McKellar at 7:30. Supporters bus.
Be going to bed soon to try and get up for that one.
Hosted by Queanbeyan City's bus. It's their actual playing bus that they take to away games,
yeah.
Which is rather nice. Beautiful bus that they've got. Good luck to Anthony Jagarenitz and his team. Anthony, who was part of the coaching setup of the O'Connor Knights last year, as well as his duties at Canberra United. McCaw. There's a chance for Piccolo to send it wide. Second bite of the cherry. Flag goes up this time against Kreskas, who was offside on the first instance. On this near side, Cameron Wallace refereed the Women's Premier League match between Gangala and Madura on Friday night. Cameron Wallace, one of a number of young referees making the step up. As I mentioned in the first half, Harrison Cracknell's first NPL game in the middle, Ian, and he's let it flow rather nicely.
So far, so good, right? A couple of the more experienced players trying to shift his mindset ever so slightly, but he's held up okay.
Good touch from Dominici. Here goes Balach with his head down and advancing on goal. Daniel Balach! It's 2-0 Monaro. He got away. He finished with aplomb. And it's the front two at it again. Dominici creates, Balach scores, and the Panthers are 2 to the good.
Great combination play between Dominici and Balach, wasn't it? And he's rolled him in. Great touch, great turn of speed, lovely finish. Christian Nell, I think, could have stayed rather than just come and closed an angle that was actually never there, and allowed Balach to pass it pretty much into the goal. I was surprised he's come so high, but yeah, still a decent finish by Daniel Balach.
The keeper made up his mind for him by coming that far out. And all Balach had to do was steer it beyond Christian Nell. And Monaro are 2-0 up and looking good towards the points. Even this early, a brace of changes. Michael John has gone off, as has Kobe Yari, I believe. Harry Martin is one of the changes. Geno Cerruti is the other. Former Panthers forwards, tasked with getting his team back into it. McCall's won it back. Here they go again. They're on the same wavelength, the front two, aren't they? And when you've got a front two that are, you look at those famous strike partnerships in the past that seem to just know instinctively where the other is. And I'm thinking, of course, like York and Cole at United back in the 98-99 treble season. They just instinctively know where everybody is. And Dominici and Balach seem to be on that same wavelength.
As are me and Keisha, we've just said the same thing about what's just happened in that goal, pretty much at the same time. Got to do better, really. But
well, he made it easy for him, didn't he? He made up the mind of the striker by coming out that far. As you're a forward and you're running into that gap, you're thinking, what am I going to do? You have a glance and you see the keeper there. You think, well, all I've got to do is get it past him now.
Well, he's just lost his angle and he's curved his out to the left. And he's just basically left the old middle of the goal for Balach to pass the ball into. And, as you know, the combination, the turn of speed, as I said, everything was brilliant from Dominici and Balach. I'm not going to take that away from him, but they've made the finish look easy.
A player who's scored 96 NPL goals now doesn't need an invitation, does he? But he got one and he took it. But they carved through the Knights there far too easily. Dominici. O'Connor staring down the barrel again. Driscoll's won it back, illegally so. Balach. Free kick goes the way of Monaro. Can they add salt into the wound? Free kick. It's whipped in and Nell, well, he was almost beaten from that angle. Kreskas whipped that in and Christian Nell, well, backpedaled to push it over the crossbar. O'Connor have work to do here. Not for the first time this season. The Panthers streaming forward in numbers. Kachenko. Straub wants to curl one. They are in the mood at the moment this season. Monaro Panthers 5 here in round 1 against the Tigers, 7 at Melrose Synthetic against West Canberra Wanderers, half a dozen at this venue a couple of weeks ago against Tuggeranong, and 2 tonight, with the promise of more to come. Straub. That's short. Now Juna can step forward, and maybe there's something on the break. Ahmed Shaibu. He's cut a peripheral figure tonight, Ahmed Shaibu, but he really should have put Knights ahead.
But you know what O'Connor Knights have been known for over the last couple of years is that quick, controlled counter-attack, getting 1v1 in wide areas, running at teams, destroying teams in the final third. Comes into the final third then and it breaks down. It's a completely different looking team.
Dominici away from the challenge. Piccolo looking to force it forward. He was off balance when he did so. McCaw wants to bend one. And Nell was scrambling across to make sure it didn't sneak in at the corner. At the moment, Monaro Panthers sitting with a goal difference of +10. It's second place because Canberra Croatians have gone out to +13. 20 goals the Panthers in 4 games this season, Ian. 19 goals Croatia in 4 games this season. They meet in the Cup on Tuesday night at Deakin. It's got 0-0 written all over, isn't it?
It could well have with the quality of the back. The back four that both teams have got, a back line that both teams have got.
Well, Panthers have conceded 3 goals this season. Croatia have conceded 2. So, the best defences in the competition.
Could be a late one for you, that, Russ.
Could be. Won't be the first time penalties have decided a Panthers-Croatia Australia Cup qualifying tie. I'm recalling a match at this very venue, which to our right, it was won. That free kick in was met by Di Franceschi. Martins pulled it back for Adams. It's a good shape on it, but too close to the keeper. You probably remember that game?
I do. I was sat over the other side on the bench. I think it was Seb Woods who scored the winning penalty that year. Went on to win it, of course.
I remember that penalty shootout mainly because there was a lot of experienced Panthers players on the park, and it was the youngsters all who stepped up to take the penalties. I think it finished 6-5 perhaps in the shootout or something like that. Frank would remember. But it was the youngsters who took the penalties, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I'll come back to that in a minute.
Side.
McCaw has found Kachenko. Look at the numbers on the far post. They're queuing up. It must be 3. It is 3. Daniel Balach says thank you very much. There were so many runners to pick from, and Kachenko chose Balach, and Balach says cheers. 3-0, game over.
When it rains, it pours, doesn't it? And O'Connor Knights have quickly gone to pieces.
What about the pass from Robbie Kachenko?
Yeah, what about the first pass that put him in? The delivery first class from a top player, and Daniel Balach doesn't miss when given those chances.
He's doubled his tally for the season to 4. He moves on to 97 Premier League goals. At this rate, he'll be bringing up a century before too long. We've still got 28 minutes of this one left. But Monaro, well, they appear home and host. It was 4 against 1 in that penalty area, and he could have picked out anyone.
Just before half-time, there was a chance they had where it just fortunately for O'Connor spun away, but there was like a 4v2 at that point as well, and they come forward in droves.
They're relentless, and they want more. Kachenko wants a ping. What a goal! Robert Kachenko picked that one out. That is an absolute stunner from Robert Kachenko. A first-time strike of power and precision. And Monaro Panthers are running riots.
He is a top player, is Robbie Kachenko, and what a strike that is. Couldn't have hit it any sweeter, and what a view we had behind that. Right in the top corner, brilliant strike.
Kachenko from distance, and then some. What a hit. And as you said, when it rains, it pours. It's like a monsoon. 4 for the Panthers, and they might well be going back on top on goal difference.
Well, you just said it before, they're relentless, aren't they? And it's great to see. So positive, love going forward, full of confidence, and, you know, a broken team like O'Connor Knights has become smashed here.
And it could get worse, because we have got plenty of time left here. And the O'Connor Knights defensively are falling apart again. For the 3rd consecutive game, they've conceded 4 in the league. For the 4th consecutive game overall, they've conceded 4 or more. This is not the defensive nous that we've seen over the past 2 seasons from this Knights team.
And I know Monaro Panthers have really improved the squad this season. They've got some real quality out there, haven't they? But for me and many others, I think Robbie Chichenko is one of the top 5 players at least in this competition.
It left his boot like an Exocet. Good take. It's a proper hit. Here they come again. You wonder how many they might get now. Ian, it's been a blitz. They've scored 3 goals in 9 minutes. They got 4 and 11 against Tuggerong here the other week. When they go forward, they're almost irresistible at the moment. And from a neutral perspective, it's an absolute pleasure to watch, isn't it?
Well, it is. Risk takers, and the risks are paying off at the moment. They've got that defensive support behind them, no doubt. But when they go forward, they're lethal.
And the Knights will sit over there and ponder and wonder what they can do and wonder how they fix this. Next week they go to Queanbeyan City. Just down the road, Queanbeyan City will send blood. Monaro sent blood. Daniel Barrett senses a hat-trick. He's got Dominici to aim for. Can't lift it over Connor Bill. Look at the space here, and the midfield's gone missing for the Knights. Here's Kachenko. Driscoll trying to bail his team out. The gaps are opening everywhere. It's like they're playing with 9. McCaw's won it back. Dominici, well, a rare mistouch by him. Connor Bill, Michael Adams. What can he do? He's got passion and power, and it's a chance for Ahmed Shaibu. And he drags it just wide.
And you just wonder, Ahmed Shaibu, if he's got a couple of goals to his name this season, he'd hit that with more venom than he actually did. It was a half hit.
But you look around the Knights lineup here, as Robert Kachenko's going to go down and get some treatment, and you see such quality players out there, and you just wonder what's happened to make this just fall apart. And you mentioned the change in management. It does have an effect. I mentioned the cup defeat. Maybe there's the knock-on effect there. Maybe there's the confidence, the morale is down. But to fall apart as they've done in 3 successive games in the league, their championship, when they won it a couple of years ago, was built on the solidity of that defence.
Yeah, it was. The personnel's not changed massively. Of course, Loughlin's gone up to Sydney, hasn't he? And Sebaran's, they've lost him in goal, and there are a couple of those. Asosa Hegi not here tonight. You can make excuses for the players who've left, but you look on that field as we do from this vantage point. There's some of the best players in the competition out on that field in red and white. And at the moment, things don't go right, and suddenly those brilliant individuals don't look anything more than that. They certainly don't look like a team.
They don't. James Lavella rather, has come off. Harrison Palic has been brought on, I think.
Yeah, and I wonder what he thinks about that at 4-0 down. Harrison Palic, who was left out last week before.
I'm sure he's thrilled to be
now
coming
he comes on at
4-0
down to defend. I mean, that's when you're looking at damage limitation, isn't it?
Monaro Panthers are going to swap the party. I think Robert Kachenko's evening might be done. He's tweaked something, smashing that ball into the top corner.
I think he's hit it that hard, hasn't he? He's pulled his hamstring. What a strike.
Absolutely lamped it into the top corner. But it's going to get easier for O'Connor Knights now he's gone, because they brought on Fernando, one of the best players in the competition, the Chilean, back from long-term injury. Ahmed Shaibu gets a shot away, forces a stop, and a decent one from Heath Illich.
Good strong hand, Heath Illich. Does what he needs to do at that vital moment then.
If you didn't get the sarcasm in the voice, Fernando is a quality player, isn't he? And they've, like I say, they've got him back from injuries. Just another piece of the puzzle that the Monaro have got here. It's a big squad.
Yeah, Ben Bassasilt not in there, Zach McLaren not in there.
Not even in the 16 tonight. Sent into the near post. Dominici using his strength, and the break might be on again with Barrage. Look at the run down the middle. Straub's gone a bit early, I think. Barrage took it too long.
Yeah, exactly that. Daniel Barrage, and he knows it. His head's gone up to the sky, and he knows that he took too long to play that ball.
Straub wanted it first time, didn't he? The other players on the bench tonight, Giuseppe Tyne, who scored a couple of goals in the cup, and a league goal as well. Dylan Deep Jones and Jack Elwood, a couple of defensive players. Not the night to bring on defenders, is it?
No, but I mean, at 4-0 you can bring Jack Elwood on high up on the left, and he's got the quality to get forward as well.
Dylan Deep Jones would tell you could bring him on up top.
Dylan Deep Jones tells you a lot. I don't mean it's true, does it?
Great feat from Adams.
Miss Dylan, we've not berated him for a while.
We haven't seen him. Palic has gone in. Adams, Ahmed Shaibu, Manda headed away by Fernando, who's playing out here on the wing at the moment. That's not a bad ball from Driscoll again, though, too close to Illich. Credit to the Knights players out there. They won't give it up, this. They will keep going. They need to find a solution, though. As I say, Queanbeyan City away next week, then Tuggeranong away, then Gungahlin away. Trio of matches. Well, they need to start picking up some points. Barach. Melik beaten by Manda. Spins away from Melik again. As we stand in, O'Connor Knights played 3, lost 3. 4-1 against 12. Minus 11 goal difference, 0 points. Last season, Olympic, on paper, had some great players, and we said, at the start of the year, surely they can't get relegated. They're too good. I know it's very early already, but are there worrying signs for O'Connor? Can they turn this around?
I'm going to say no, only because...
No, they can't turn it around, or there's no worrying signs.
There's no worry. Yes, they can turn it around. No, there's not massive worrying signs, because I look out onto the pitch and see that the quality that they have, they just need to come together with it again.
We will see how it evolves. Long way to go, of course. We're only in round 3. And 3 defeats do not make a season. For the Panthers, though, completely the opposite end of the spectrum. They are flying at the moment. Paul McCaw and his team have recruited well. Brought in some really good players. Might have had to spend a couple of dollars here or there to do so, but that's the nature of the beast. But they have gelled quickly, and they have gelled as a unit, and they are playing some exceptional football. There's a real buzz around the club as well. There's a lot of youngsters here again. Enjoying watching the first team?
They enjoy seeing the team score a goal, don't they? They have a lovely little run down the stand in front of us when a goal goes in and celebrate with the players. It's excellent to see.
Kreskas. The players love to come over and celebrate with the fans, as it should be. Dominici, Fernando waited too long. Set your dates, set your diary. Saturday, 10 May, 3 p.m. High Street, Queanbeyan City versus Monaro Panthers. The derby is back. And those two teams don't like each other very much, do they?
I don't know.
On the field.
Not for me to say.
Yeah.
They might get on really well.
On the fields, we're talking. Queanbeyan City were really looking forward to the visit of Monaro Panthers. I'm not sure anybody would be, the way they're playing at the moment. Piccolo finds Dominici. In goes Barach for 3. Good save this time by Nell. Surely, as much as they're excited, Queanbeyan City, about welcoming Monaro over the road, having got promoted, there must be a bit of trepidation in the ranks. McCaw's won it, and he's found Dominici. He's got Barach to aim for. Barach for 3. He's got his hat-trick. It's almost a carbon copy of his second. And Daniel Barach claims a Monaro Panthers treble. The first man since Rocco Stricker in the league to do so. And they just cannot stop scoring. It's 5.
What a delivery from Stephen Dominici. Took the ball, whipped it across early. Didn't even need a little bounce or anything. Barach skips onto it. Naturally left-footed, just passes it into the back of the net. Great goal.
The second Panthers player to get a treble this year following Giuseppe Tynes in the Cup. Daniel Barach has 3 in the league. As I say, the last Panther to do so was Rocco Stricker against West Canberra Wanderers in a 6-0 win here in June 2023. Daniel Barach, well, you remember I said he was closing in on 100. He's got another. And Dominici just found him with, as you say, the perfectly weighted pass. It was exactly the same goal they scored moments ago when Kachenko sent it across for Barach.
Talk about partnerships in the game. You were speaking about it before, weren't you? Barach and Dominici having come over, you know, together as a pair, really. It's great work from the coaching and recruitment staff at Monaro Panthers to get them both here.
Daniel Barach, 3 league games, 5 goals to his name. In all competitions, 4 matches, 6 goals since he made the transfer. Here he is again, and they might not be done yet. Barach is going to get on the end of this. Connor Bills slides in. Harry Martin. Christian Junner is a shell-shocked O'Connor Knights again. At half-time, it was only 1. And that goal came 3 minutes before the break. There was never any indication that this was going to happen, Ian.
Not at half-time.
In the second half.
Not for most of the first half, but then they've imploded, haven't they? Or, I mean, probably a bit unfair on Monaro Panthers. They've taken it to them and been ruthless and destroyed them.
Much as they're destroying everybody this season. For the 4th consecutive game, they've scored 5 goals or more. It's reminiscent, dare I say it, of the great Canberra-Croatia sides of the mid-2010s, who scored buckets when they needed to, and often when they didn't. Goal after goal after goal. Queanbeyan City have had Sam Abba sent off at the end of the game against Canberra, Croatia, which Croatia have won by 5 goals to 0 at Deakin Stadium. Not the ideal ending to the contest for them either.
Monaro and Canberra, Croatia just matching each other at the moment, aren't they?
Well, it keeps Monaro Panthers top of the table, doesn't it? On goal difference. Panthers got up in the under-23s this afternoon as well, Ian. By 3 goals to 0. Jebediah Jeffrey got a brace.
His dad, Evan, would be happy with that.
I'm sure Jeb's happy with that as well.
Probably. Good to see him coming back. He had a bad...
Michael Adams will bend one.
He had a bad back injury not so long ago, Jeb, so it's good to see him back playing and getting on the score sheet.
12 minutes to go. That challenge was a bit agricultural and should see a yellow card. Wasn't the best of challenges, was it?
It wasn't the best of challenges, and when you're 5-0 up, unnecessary, really.
To Marco Gaia. I'm trying to plead his innocence. I'm not really sure he's got a leg to stand on. You know he doesn't. Very upended.
I could have answered with many.
I thought
would have got into trouble.
Cleaned up completely. You can often tell how compelling the game is by how busy the supporters club is. And it's pretty empty in there at the moment because everybody's outside enjoying the football.
Yeah, they're enjoying watching the team play. You should have seen it when I was coach here. That
I did.
supporters club was full.
Yeah.
No one was watching the game. Everybody loved being in the bar. In fact, they had some curtains they kept closing when the team walked out.
What do you mean I should have seen it? I did.
Yeah.
I was here.
You did. Good, wasn't it?
It was all right, yeah. Substitution here for O'Connor. Coming up.
I had a little look in the club before. It's looking really good. The food great as ever. Still no picture of Frank Casey's championship winning team and the treble, but you know, it's maybe it'll go up one day. But other than that, looking good.
Michael Adams, his afternoon is over, or evening rather. He's worked hard, but bigger fish to fry at a later date. And we have a NPL and O'Connor Knights debut for Kai Millen. Millen, a very famous name associated with the Knights. Ball spent in. David Millen played centre-back there for quite some time. Understand that Kai is the son of Richie Millen, who was at the O'Connor Knights as well. Proud parent moment for them, no doubt, an opportunity for the youngster. Not the ideal time to be coming on, but it doesn't matter what the score is. You're making your debut, does it? You just want to get out there.
I'm sure he'd rather be coming on in better situation, but you know.
He's got himself a first-rate cap. And coming on in this situation, he might play himself into the team. You never know. But congratulations to Kai Millen on his debut.
Quite surprised to see that Monaro's not made as many changes. Giving Seppi Tyne a chance, perhaps?
Well, he'd be champing at the bit to try and get on. They've got a cup match on Tuesday as well, haven't they? Which is interesting. Here's Dylan Deep-Jones, who's been put on in that change while we were taking, and Giuseppe Tynes come on at the same time. So there you go.
There you go.
Both came on at the same time while that incident was happening. Unsurprisingly, they've dragged the front two, whose work is done.
Where have they put Dylan?
Up front, like I told you.
Oh, my goodness.
Deep Jones and Tyne for Barach and Dominici. Jack Elwood, I think, on the left flank as well.
Yeah, triple change.
Everything happening at the same time. Here he is, first chance for him to get involved and sweep it in. Christian Kreskas has made way for him.
Very happy to see Seppi get run out, and also Jack Elwood. Good to see him back on the pitch playing in a first team environment. And Dylan Deep-Jones up front, well,
I told you, he'll say to him, I can play up front, mate.
Oh, he's been in the ear of the coach for the last half hour, telling him what he can do.
Well, he's got the chance to prove it now, hasn't he? 8 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Gaia, Manders rode the challenge, and now here's a chance for Palic to stretch his legs. He's barely had a kick since he's come on. Still putting the effort in, the Knights trying to get at least a consolation for their supporters. Mentioned earlier on, the goal drought that Gungahlin United are on. Well, O'Connor Knights' only goal have come in the 48th minute of stoppage time.
It's a late challenge.
It's a very late challenge.
He studs up as well.
Well, he's having to think about it.
To see what he's going to do here.
It's a yellow card for Ahmed Shaibu, and it's
a
second, and he's off. And that makes it even worse for O'Connor Knights.
Well, it's a long way away from me here. Ahmed Shaibu is not a malicious player. He is going to, you know, apologise, but it's late. Two, he's got his studs up, and well, that spells his second yellow.
And that means that they'll be without Lukman Ahmed Shaibu for the trip to Queanbeyan City next weekend. it's just one of those challenges born out of frustration, perhaps trying to get the football. And he sees red for a second yellow card offence, which brings with it the mandatory one-match ban. And as you say, not malicious intent at all. And Ahmed Shaibu, formerly of the Monaro Panthers, of course. We'll head off down the tunnel. Gaia forward. Elwood. Dylan Deep Jones has gone back to central defence here.
Good. He's not bad there.
Seppi Tynes putting himself about. Michael Piccolo thought about it. Finds Elwood. Straub. McCall. Gaia. Happy to knock it around, just toying with the Knights now. Deep Jones, he's had his couple of minutes up top. Melik. They've gone to 4 at the back. Wondering if this is a precursor maybe for Tuesday as well. So trying something a bit different. Piccolo. Elwood playing centre forward.
It's a little rotation with Tyne, that, isn't it?
It's nicely done as well, isn't it? The movement is good.
Yeah.
That's lovely as well. Piccolo and Melik exchanging, and Melik having a pop. And Nell at the second attempt. But even the substitutes are coming on, playing brimful of confidence. Keen, excited, want to be a part of it, want to play their way into this group. Driscoll. Deep Jones. Away from Manda.
Done very well, Dylan Deep Jones.
McCall
full of confidence, aren't they, all of them?
They are. Everybody on the entire squad list confident on the ball, enjoying goals, raining goals. If you got a season ticket to the Strider Park, 16 goals you would have seen in 3 games this year at this venue. $13 of which, Ian, have come after the break.
Yeah, well, once they get 1 or 2, that's it. They don't want to stop, do they? They don't sit back.
Marco Gaia. Piccolo. Di Franceschi. Wearing the captain's armband. He's had a solid match tonight, Adam Di Franceschi.
Yes, he has. Had a solid start to the season, hasn't he?
Well, he was the one that got clattered there by Ahmed Shaibu, wasn't he? And I think he was the one that got clattered by him in the first half with that follow through on the headed clearance. Three minutes plus stoppage time to go. Going through the motions now, both sides realistically. Knights preparing for the trip over the road to High Street next week. Panthers preparing for something a little bit more exciting in the meantime. Cup quarter-final time on Tuesday night. And on Wednesday, Tuggeranong United play Ugali in the Cup quarter-final, having made the trip to Griffith tomorrow for the league game. It's incredible how that happens, isn't it? And then Tigers play Gunners the following week, having played them today. It happens all over the world.
So
it's really
often.
weird.
Yeah.
So often it follows on. McCall. Nice ball towards Melik. Is there something else for the Panthers fans to cheer? Not on that occasion. Cheruti, again another former Panther. He had a good season here last year, Geno Cheruti, coming off the bench as an impact, scoring goals. Made the move over to the O'Connor Knights. Di Franceschi, Melik, Fernando. Di Franceschi. Tyne will try and get on the end of this. Juna steps across. Oh, that's a poor bit of defending from Palic. Piccolo's found Jack Elwoods. Well, that would have been a rarity. Jack Elwoods, 26 NPL games. And cannot find the target yet. Cameron Straub finds something. Final minute of the match. Into the area. It's come off Juna, but it's played it back in the danger area. Nell, well, that's
not a pass.
Not a great punch.
Just collect it.
Didn't back himself, did he? That's all. Christian Juna's down, trying to pick himself up. Good header from Marco Gaia. Juna away. Wonder how long Harrison Cracknell will add on. He's had a good game tonight for his first NPL game. I don't think he's had any calls that anyone would really have a disagreement with. No. I don't think even Lukman Ahmed Tribal would be overly disagreeing with his own send-off. That's a good effort on the turn for Chiruti, not far away.
He's made the big decisions as well, hasn't he? Good decisions with those. Sadly for Ahmed Shabu, it was definitely a second yellow.
First of many, perhaps, for Harrison Cracknell in the middle, you would think. Good to see, as we mentioned earlier, the young referees coming through. So Thomas Stupadic do his first middle from the Federation Cup quarter-final in the week, and he got rave reviews from the coaches. Look at the pace of time. He's got Elwood in the middle if he can find him. That's asking a fair amount, though. He whipped that across.
Great turn of speed, wasn't it, from Seppi Tyne?
Great impact sub to bring on, isn't he? With his pace, he can run at defenders.
Yep, he's rapid, isn't he?
Yeah. Alex told me it's pronounced Tine, if we want to go properly. And I said, everyone calls him Tyne, no one will know what you're talking about.
I've known Alex for 7 years and I've always called him Tyne.
Yeah. I am Worthington on commentary for me. Dylan Deep Jones. Straub. McCall just knocking it around now and waiting for the referee to blow the whistle. Ball from Max Melik was easily blocked. Dylan Deep Jones. Panthers utterly ruthless in the second stanza. Played in towards Fernando. It might come for Fernando. Desperate lunge from Nick Dahl. Haven't mentioned Nick Dahl much tonight, have we? He's been played around him, unfortunately, for him.
He's not been able to get anywhere near the Monaro midfield.
Gaia for Kenny Manda now. Well, the way that the Panthers and Croatia are going, every goal might be critical this season, Ian, in terms of goal difference.
Yeah, to finish top of the tree, because at the moment they're the two best teams around.
And I think they're proving the points. That's loose by Nell, and Fernando's got a whole goal to aim at. It's not going to dip enough. Didn't quite have the accuracy needed. He's disappointed, Fernando. He's got the quality to pull that off. Christian Nell's relieved. Playing themselves into trouble here in the night, and they've done it again, but Harrison Cracknell brings the mercy rule out, I think, and says to the Knights, well, that's the end of that. And Monaro Panthers, they march on in, and they march on in some style. Impressive.
Yeah, very good tonight, weren't they, yet again. Excellent team performance, solid at the back, ruthless in front of goal, and complete control in midfield. Really comprehensive.
An impressive performance all round. Ian, thank you very much for joining us here tonight. Monaro Panthers, well, they only led 1-0 at half-time through Michael Piccolo, but in the second half they took the Knights to town. Daniel Balach with a hat-trick, Robert Kachenko with an absolute worldie, and the Panthers march on at the top of the pile. It's finished at Strider Park. Monaro Panthers 5, O'Connor Knights 0.